A little more energetic than I did for the Capcom video, though, so that's good. I was tired as fuck for that one.
I'm awake. I'm just sore.
Yeah.
The going to fucking work after not working for a week thing kicked my ass. All right, up on Twitch.
Waiting for fucking YouTube. Taking its goddamn time.
It was the opposite last time. You had YouTube up and I was waiting on Twitch.
Come on, YouTube. There we go. There we go. Love how I can have this thing like set up like a fucking laptop, even though I don't use it in that way. Not at all. Jazz's point. What's up, dude? Gonna wait a couple minutes, get people in here, and then we'll get this shit show started. How's the audio sound and video and all that stuff? Joshua? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I posted in the Discord, but just so you're aware, and you can, unless Sarah's watching and she can hear me now, but Final Fantasy is doing a free play thing right now, so you can play for 4 days.
What, 14? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Looks good, sounds good. All right, sick. So this stream is a TLG Reacts Live. I'm Seth, this is Chevy, and we're going to be reacting to 3 videos. I'm throwing a third video in here. The main one, of course, is Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary event that happened earlier. I have heard what they showed. I have not seen it. So, spoiler alert, I do know what we're getting into, but I won't talk about it until we watch it. Then we got the Dragon's Dogma 10th anniversary video that we're going to be watching. I also had that spoiled for me, but I have not watched it. So, I will just purely be reacting and discussing with you guys what we see there. But a video I'm adding to the roster real quick is the Outriders Worldslayer Endgame Spotlight that came out 6 days ago. I missed this in the flurry of videos that we've been reacting to all week. And if there's an event that you want to see our reactions to, we probably reacted to it. So make sure to go check out prior episodes if you're watching this after fact, or if you're watching right now and you didn't see those, go check those out. We have been busy doing streams and watching all the events. And of course, if there's any videos or events that you wanted us to react to, we are open to pretty much everything. So just let us know, and if it seems worth it, we will watch it, like the Outriders Worldslayer Endgame video that I'm going to watch because I personally want to know about that. What's up, Psycho? So yeah, we got 3 videos. They're all about 12 minutes apiece, and we're going to start with the Outriders Worldslayer Endgame Spotlight because I would like to know what Endgame is going to be like in Outriders. Before we jump into that, have you got any spoilers today? Did you get through without seeing a thing? Were you even trying?
I have a vague idea on Dragon's Dogma, but I don't think that was hard to guess anyways.
Yeah.
The Final Fantasy VII one, fortunately, even though I was on Twitter, I was scrolling fast enough to not be able to read anything, and pictures of Final Fantasy VII don't mean anything. It could be a lot of things.
Well, especially since it's a Final Fantasy VII
event. So specifics, no. I know it's Final Fantasy VII related.
But you don't know any details?
No.
Okay, that's cool. So you are going in blind. Very cool. You just know Final Fantasy VII's involved.
Yeah, I saw lots of pictures of Zach today. So
yeah. So we will watch it, and we'll get a genuine reaction from you. I haven't seen anything. Just reiterating that. I haven't seen anything, but I do know what they showed. So it's kind of rough because with these smaller events that have been popping up, I'm like, are they just like glorified advertisements, or are we going to see some really cool stuff that it merits, a stream? So.
I mean, I do have speculation on the 7-1 just because I did hear recently that Gokt went on stage wearing his costume from was that Crisis Core?
Hell yeah, dude.
So that can't be coincidental.
Yeah,
I think
it's definitely not coincidental. Yeah. All right, so let's just jump into this and get this going. And yeah, so the first video is Outriders Worldslayer Endgame Spotlight. This is going to explain Endgame. So we're going to watch this in 3, 2, 1, and go. Let me know about audio sooner than later. Next, we will be watching Dragon's Dogma.
Hey there, fellow
Final
Outriders,
Fantasy.
and welcome to your biggest challenge yet. Today we're going to take a closer look at our new and much anticipated Worldslayer
Do you think it's
endgame.
funny that Square sold off
A
their
vast
Western
and
IPs
pretty
but
damn
kept
scary
Outriders?
place called the Trial
Yeah, I think
of
Josh brought that up
Tarja
on one of the streams, and I was like, that's very
Quick
interesting
disclaimer,
because it kind of
next to
tells
the
me
overall
that
structure,
they
we'll
saw
be checking
something
in on
with it
some of the
that they
new
wanted to
gear
keep.
available
So
in Worldslayer, and we'll also take a look at one of the new enemy types
I think
that
it's
are
a
only
brand
to be
they could
found in
definitely
Tarja
continue to
Kratar.
make, so-
Other than that, we'll keep it spoiler-free, of course. We're also mostly soloing for the
They also
purpose of the
backed out of the
spotlight.
NFT thing,
Please
so-
keep in mind, as
Good.
with so
Yeah,
many things
he's
in
only
life,
elsewhere,
there are
apparently.
even more
Good.
fun when you team up with friends and experience it together. Enough chit-chat. Endgame. Let's get it.
the fucking outfits are so much better. The armor so much better in this new expansion than they were before.
I'll take your word for it.
First things first. You might ask yourself, what the heck is Tarja Kratar and why are we here in the first place? Sadly, we can't give you the full background and history of this place just yet, because that's something for you to explore, as it is very much linked to the Worldslayer story campaign. It's safe to say, though, without revealing too much, that this place is deeply rooted in the legacy of Planet Enoch's mysterious natives, the Pax.
Where's their father's power? This madness. I gotta find out what the hell it was.
Let's start with an overview of Tarja Kratar itself. The trial takes place in a new, huge and fully explorable area, including changing weather, day and nighttime scenarios. It will confront you with different combat encounters, and in some cases, exclusive enemies.
I honestly
You'll need
like
to
the
stand
small touch
victorious
of having
after
a
every
different
encounter
visual,
in order to delve deeper
weather and
into
stuff
the
like
heart
that.
of
Some
Tarja
games is just
Kratar.
always the same, where when you go to a
But
thing,
make
you're
no
going to be
mistake,
repeating.
your
Right.
enemies are relentless and will even grow in difficulty tiers over the course of your venture. Every run starts at your base camp, conveniently set at the entrance to the trial area. Here you will find all needed amenities for your Outrider lifestyle. Vendors, crafting, fast travel, customize your
Endgame
character's
is a
look,
lifestyle,
access
dude.
your stash, find a party, and
Living
even
in
access
this.
to all 18 previous expeditions. You'll be returned to your camp if you manage to complete a full trial run, but also if you abandon an attempt or simply die too often. In any of those three cases, Tarja Kratar's rewards will reset and be freshly obtainable.
So it's a roguelike.
While exploring the dungeon, you will additionally encounter crossroads, boss arenas, and troves. Crossroads may give you the opportunity to explore areas off the primary path, and most of the time they will lead you to troves. Boss arenas are mandatory to progress deeper into
It's
Tarja
interesting
Kratar.
how many
We are
games are taking
currently
this approach to,
here.
like,
Our first crossroads is
Endgame
giving us the option to
system.
explore Trove right from the get-go.
I think it's really important to
I will
not
talk
repeat
about
like the
the
same
specifics of
thing over and
Troves
over
a bit
again.
later.
So having that kind
Let's
of
go
random
and wreak some havoc
randomness.
first. By the way, there's
makes
no
repeating
time
it over and
element
over
to the
again
trial.
a
You
lot
can
easier,
complete them at
bearable,
your own
yeah.
pace, and nobody will scream chop chop at you while you stop, smell the roses, and just take in the nice view from time to time.
And it is a gameplay loop I'm not bored of yet, so I'm completely fine with it as long as it is random.
Let's take a moment to go over our current gear and pyromancer build. We're currently
sure
rocking
about
a
any of
Sunfall submachine gun, the Hellborn bolt action rifle, and the Boulderlings pistols. We're also doing this run
Like
with the
loot, cover
Pyromancer's
shooters, and
new
magic.
Heatseeker legendary armor set,
probably
which
like
will
it.
work
I mean, I
nicely
played
with
the
our equipped pyro skills thermal bomb,
beta
overheat,
demo.
and
Oh, yeah,
ash
I heard you
blast.
did.
It has a wicked set bonus that will activate once you successfully
somebody
manage to detonate an
gifted me
opponent
the
with
game.
your thermal
I
bomb
played it.
skill. After the first explosion, thermal bomb will then automatically travel to the opponent with the lowest health. and chains up to 3 more times after the initial blast. The Heatseeker set also comes with 4 insanely powerful mods in support of our overheat ability and helps to deal some serious damage. We specialized the Tempest branch in the Pyromancer skill tree for this run. Our Pax Glass tree specialization in the Pyromaniac branch will really help to turn up the heat.
What's up, Echo
As just
TV?
mentioned,
You're
Heatseeker
here.
will enable our thermal bomb to travel 3 more times.
We are
after
currently
the first
watching the
impact.
Outriders
Those
Worldslayer
fireworks come
endgame
with
spotlight, and then
50%
we are going to
reduced
move on
damage.
to
Let's
Dragon's
counter
Dogma
that a little.
and
Check
Final
out
Fantasy
Trigger's
VII.
sequence. It will give explosive skills like thermal bomb 25% more damage, and it stacks up to 3 times. Boom. That's a great example of the importance and fun to always be on the lookout for exciting synergies between weapons, mods, and skills. Finally, we're currently on Essential level 41. We've
Hell
used our
yeah.
available points to achieve a good spread of increase in our 4 available main categories: Anomaly Power, Endurance, Brutality,
Oh,
and
yeah, this is like
Prowess.
the
However,
badass point
Worldslayer will also rework some existing gear, including the Plague Sower and Torturer sets, to ensure that your existing favorite gear remains viable. Also, keep an eye out for our new Sunfall submachine gun special mod, Firestorm. It summons a violent and homing firestorm to deal damage and inflict an extra crispy burn on enemies. The radius of the firestorm will also increase with each successful shot on the
Wish
afflicted
they would
target.
show another class.
That's an interesting effect. It's like there's a shooting filigree and it moves over. This is the game where you have to be constantly
That was fun.
health up, right?
Yeah, for the
We'll
most part.
swap to the Hellbone
Mini
Bone
Hammer's
action
done
for the
from
next
Gears of
encounter.
War. No
It
doubt,
will
keep
give you
showing
the
the power.
violent rupture
It
mod,
does remind me of
creating
the
a volcanic
Hammer of
eruption
Dawn.
on impact.
Game also
Now,
kind of plays
all
like
those
Gears of War.
Pyromancer players might notice that this is actually one of the Pyro's most brutal abilities. So, with Thermal Bomb, Overheat, and Ash Blast already on our skill bar, we essentially added a 4th one on demand. Nice.
Nice. That's happy parents.
Now's a great time to introduce you to one of the Trial's exclusive enemies, the Shadow Beasts.
Yeah, they all have really
Blink,
interesting ways to
and
heal.
you'll
Like
miss
the guy I
it,
play,
but
the
rest
trickster.
assured,
You have
they
to kill
won't
people
miss
within
you.
a certain range of being close.
These
and
overwhelmingly
that heals
effective
you. So
predators
if you're not
join the roster of
aggressively like
monstrous
attacking
adversaries
people,
that
you're
you'll
not
be
healing.
facing. Shadow Beasts are the assassins of Tarja Gratar, and usually appear in small packs. Their sensitivity to the anomaly gives them the ability to cloak themselves, even while in motion. You may only be able to track them if they disturb the environment they pass through, or by using an area of effect skill to unmask them. Shadow Beasts use their superior stalking capabilities to get close enough to be able to attack you with their special abilities. With the most debilitating of these, they will be able to inflict silence upon you. The silence debuff locks the player's skills from being triggered for a set duration.
That's rough.
During
Fucking
this
hate it.
time, you will need to rely on your weapons only to fend off enemies. Pretty nasty. I'd be also on the lookout for beast
nasty.
lords,
I'll say the
experienced
the
feral
commentary
hunters
after the
who
description.
manage to tame these invisible killers and use them as tracker.
Good. Let's just say that.
We now have the option of progressing to the first boss arena, or taking some time to investigate the trove access from these crossroads. Let's keep that boss waiting a little longer. As we mentioned earlier on, troves are optional areas that you can explore as you progress through Tarja Gratar. They're dangerous enough to potentially cut short a dungeon run, but their rewards are well worth
I
it.
was wondering if there's gonna be like risk versus reward decisions to be made, but there's
Let's
my answer.
remind ourselves of why we're all really here. Sweet, badass
looks so
loot.
good in this.
And troves offer
Yeah, I wish
something
fucking
new to
Trickster
Outriders
would,
universe. Targeted
would look so
apocalypse
good in
gear,
this.
Loot, farming. Each trove will individually offer a particular slot of gear. For example, One trove will focus on helmets, while another will offer only chest armor pieces.
actually focus on
Completing a
what you're
full
trying to
run of the Trial of Tarja Gratar will reward you
Kinda
with tons
reminds me
of
of
new and
Godfall.
amazing items. But these
Yeah,
trove
Godfall when
areas
you're going up the
give you an added opportunity to
elevator, you
target
get to
farm
choose
for specific
what room you
apocalypse
enter based off the
variant
gear it has on the door.
your set. Given you make it out
Not
alive
complaining,
from one of the
I
trove
play
areas,
Godfall still, so-
you'll be
No, it's
returned to
fun.
your last
That's like the only
crossroad
mode in
and you
Godfall I
continue
like,
your
so.
journey. Each location will challenge you in
I
different
literally
ways.
said, like, when we
Some of
originally
them will
reviewed it, I was
surprise
like,
you
if they
with
sold, like,
complete
that
new enemy
elevator
types
mode as a
that you last
standalone
visited.
$30 game, I would just buy it.
While others throw brand new boss mechanics at you.
It's essentially
Again,
just a co-op roguelike.
Throws are always a
that's a
high-risk
lot of fun.
affair, but high risk always comes with high rewards. Outriders Worldslayer. So just to state the obvious, the Trial of Tarja Gratar is repeatable at any point and designed with high replayability in mind.
Be really
Guess
funny
we
if
kept
somebody
our
watched this
first
and
boss
went,
waiting long
"Oh,"
enough.
once he
And
explained
I'll
it
leave
like
you
that.
now with a few glimpses of what's to come. We hope you will have hours and hours of amazing fun in Tarja Gratar. Take care
It's
and
a
goodbye, lovely
much
people.
more robust end game than what they got right now. So that's pretty cool.
I mean, it is an add-on. It's just strictly an endgame thing, though. So.
It's just nice because like endgame used to be kind of like what you are looking forward to or expecting from like an MMO, and now every game's trying to keep you playing it for fucking 8 years, and every single game is just like, don't leave, don't do other things, just play us. We got a battle pass. You have to play every single day of a month to get everything unlocked, so don't go anywhere. But yeah, so endgame kind of sloppy in a lot of games for a long time, but now it seems like people are taking endgame more serious, which has been really interesting to watch. Sounds cool. I mean, I'm definitely ready to play this. Been wanting to play the game again anyway, but I was like, I'm just gonna wait until the content comes out.
Yeah.
Which I think that's insane.
Why not? Everything else for some reason.
Clone myself, share the experiences amongst the clones, and play all the games at once.
So you just want to be the Borg.
No, I don't want that. I take it all back. I'll just live like this. All right, so obviously not the reason everybody's here for this video, but real quick, what'd you think? You haven't really played Outriders. You played the
I
beta.
got to like level 7 or whatever.
Yeah, so you've had a little bit of experience, but what do you think of what they're doing with the end game?
Well, it looks like it's pretty well thought out. As far as like how robust it actually is, it's going to be hard to say until people get their hands on it. But my major takeaways was the gameplay loop itself, like, isn't really a big deal to me. I'm pretty easy to please though in that regard when it comes to like
same.
grinding for loot and stuff. But
Yeah, as long as I'm having fun, I'm okay with repeating shit.
yeah, combat's way more important. If the combat's good, then the monotony is irrelevant to an extent. But the thing I took away from this mostly is seeing like just kind of the style of the armor and the weapons and stuff, and then seeing the like affixes on the weapons and stuff like that. They're a lot more creative than I expected them to be, which is a good thing because
Same, and I've played the game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh yeah, apparently inspiration hit in between making the base game and this.
yeah. So I mean, I own the game. I just have to play it, and it does make me more interested to do so.
The worst thing is I don't remember. Is it a 3-player co-op game?
I think so.
Fucking bane of my existence. So yeah, it's kind of rough because I know like multiple people who play this game or who could play this game, and I'm like, I have to pick 2 people. So I mean, if we can get 6 people to play the game, then we can just kind of split off.
You just snag whoever's available first. So.
Yeah, true. But yeah, it would be cool to get you into this and play it, because it is it's a game that's much better than it deserves to be, especially because I was like a huge critic of the game before it came out. Now I'm like, people should play it, and the expansion seems to be making it even better. So
For sure.
yeah. Let's see. Gameplay looks pretty fun. Going to be fun to run with the team, and on a higher difficulty will make teamwork great. Yeah, and this game has a great system of it advances your tiers. I think you can turn that off, but I had it on. As you play better and better, it goes, you're in tier 14 now, and it increases difficulty constantly, but also increases rewards.
Kind of reminds me of the old Diablo system.
And yeah, and the game does get pretty challenging, and it does start getting to the point where like you need to really start working as a team, not even in the sense of like, oh, get me up if I go down kind of situation, but like utilizing different abilities, different elements, all that kind of stuff, because enemies start getting pretty diverse in what they need to get fucking wrecked. Yeah, so my thoughts, as somebody who has played through the campaign of the original game and played a couple runs of the end game, this is a huge step in the right direction in terms of end game. I'm glad the original had it, but it did feel like they're like, we gotta have an end game. Let's throw one on there. This seems like they've got to sit, look at what people did in the original game, what they did with Endgame, and retool it and make a better experience. I like that it has like different pathings. It's all random, and you get to choose risk and reward style choices in terms of like what rooms you go in and what you don't. I like that there's bosses. I like that you can complete it. I like that you can just fail. So it adds an end point to a run, which is something I really like. It's something that they did with Godfall as well recently. You hit level 30 on the elevator, and that's the end. And you can just restart if you want. So that's cool. Gear's looking a lot better. The abilities look really cool. They focused on Pyro, which is interesting because out of all the people I know who've played this game, nobody played Pyro except for Psycho. But I haven't seen him play it. So, yeah, really interesting. I like that... that fucking laser beam, and I like how it just kind of goes to people as you shoot them. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a cool way to not make you have to control it while you're trying to shoot at people, but have an element of you are controlling it as you're shooting people. It's a really smart, streamlined system, and I think it looks really cool. And yeah, overall, this is sounding really dope. I actually really want to play this. This has me pumped to play this, and I will play this when it comes out. But yeah, other than that, stoked, ready to play it. So yeah, let us know in the chat what you guys think if you want to, and in the comments after the fact, if you're watching this, let me know what you think about Outriders, Worldslayer, Endgame. Have you played it before? Have you not played it? And are you planning on playing it? Is it on Game Pass still? I remember when it first came out, it was on Game Pass. Because a lot of people are blaming the lag for people who are on Game Pass. I don't know where they got that idea from. But yeah, it'd be cool if it's still on there, because it's a game that I think a lot of people would probably play via that. Let's see. There's supposedly a Lord of the Rings game coming out based on dwarves in the mines of Moria. Yeah, got to finish the story before this drops. Still on Game Pass. Yeah. Okay, cool. I would definitely implore people to buy it, support the dev, but if that's the only way you can play it, or that's the way you choose to play it, that also supports them as well, because it keeps their community full of people. So definitely check it out. Yeah, we did cover the Dwarves and Mines of Moria game on a prior stream, and it's looking pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of... I hesitate to say it looks like it's inspired by Deep Rock Galactic, because it's definitely just a dwarven survival game. Yeah. Deep Rock Galactic is not a survival game, but I was having this conversation with Sarah, and she was even like, well, I don't really see like a huge influence. I'm like, I have a hard time believing this game under this property would exist if Deep Rock Galactic didn't exist before it, though. And there's a couple similarities there, like being able to drink with your friends, stuff like that, and doing the cooperative, like mining underground, stuff like that. That just reminds me of it, but it's obviously a survival game, so the genre's not even the same. But definitely has some similarities, which is cool because I'm a huge Deep Rock Galactic fan. So, honestly, it's heavy Deep Rock Galactic third person, 100%. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of agree for sure. So, yeah. All right. So, what's up, Ryder? You are the only guy on YouTube, apparently. Very lonely over there.
That's unusual, actually.
Yeah, it's really weird. Typically, most of our people are on YouTube. But yeah, I showed my buddy who's super into DRG, and he said it's really similar. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting conversation. I'd like to maybe do a more of a breakdown on it. But just as somebody who's played like a lot of Deep Rock Galactic, I have a strong suspicion that it at least inspired somebody who would most likely just make some run-of-the-mill third-person action RPG out of Lord of the Rings game, and they decided to make this, it feels like it's definitely inspired by it. So, which is cool. It's great because I think Deep Rock Galactic is borderline a perfect game. So, yeah. All right. Well, that was Outriders Worldslayer. We're moving on to the next video. Once the game comes out, could possibly do a side-by-side comparison. That'd be interesting. Although, with how heavily it is just a survival game where you're building bases and stuff like that, you could compare it to really any other survival game too. So, yeah. All right. So next video is Dragon's Dogma 10th anniversary and Dragon's Dogma 2 announcement teaser. So for anybody who didn't know, it has been revealed to you. Although not really that surprising, considering they're having a whole event. You'd assume they would have some kind of news like that. I like YouTube. If you're not the type to kink or even self-harm, shame. Fair.
I mean, in all fairness, I also prefer that platform, but
yeah. Well, I feel like I do too, just because like I interact with it more often, like uploading videos, and when I stream I use both, but like my community's on YouTube, so it's like Twitch is just kind of like, people are like, oh, you don't have emojis and all this shit set up on Twitch. I'm like, bro, I don't even
realistically
hang out here.
We should probably set up emotes for both and just use them on both. That way, if anyone joins your membership or your sub, they are at least getting something out of it.
You're gonna have to help me out with that because I'm a complete fucking boomer when it comes to Twitch. Okay, so Dragon's Dogma 10th anniversary and Dragon's Dogma 2 announcement teaser. We know what they're gonna show apparently, but when it comes to Dragon's Dogma, what's your thoughts? Oh fuck yeah, DD2. Yeah, no, I'm fucking finally a confirmation.
The first one I really liked, but I also had a lot of qualms with, and I think it's just because I came to the game very late, and so it didn't age super well gameplay wise. I do think the idea of it, and obviously like a lot of the combat stuff, I enjoy it quite a bit, and the AI party system I also like quite a bit. So I am looking forward to seeing a more modern take on Dragon's Dogma, because I do think it is absolutely full of potential. It just needs some bit of modernizing, I feel. So,
well, it's been 10 years, and by the time the second one actually does come out, it will probably have been like 14 years. So I'm assuming it's going to be a huge leap.
I hope so.
Visually, especially because I believe I'm certain it's going to be made on Dari engine. So it's probably going to look a lot better. But just a lot of the ideas and the creativity in terms of how combat worked in Dragon's Dogma is something that I'm really interested in seeing, because there still is not a whole lot of people outside of Capcom who will do stuff like that in combat. Most games are like hit square, triangle to do your light and heavy attacks. Maybe a lock on here or there and some powers you can shoot at somebody. But like, in Dragon's Dogma, you're like crawling all over things while you're fighting them. You can swing upwards because there's things that fly, and there's all sorts of things in the combat that like you actually have to think situationally about, which is just really cool. And the only reason I bring up other Capcom games is because like Monster Hunter has a fairly complex combat system for a otherwise third-person action game.
Oh yeah. Monster Hunter's great.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. As for when you're talking about AI companions, love that system, and I love that you could like import other people's.
I love that system.
Yeah, it's really fucking
better
cool.
Still be around,
and I'm hoping they keep all of that. But I'm praying that you will be able to switch out companions for friends who can hop in and play with you as well. That would be. It's the only like otherwise a new Dragon's Dogma, I'm sold. I already want it, but like if you could just add co-op to it, it would be sick. Everybody would be happy, and you wouldn't have to rely on like, well, I don't have friends, I can't do it. Well, use the companions then. Like it already has that system. It's already a main staple of the game. Right. So, but when you're playing with all these AI dudes, I'm like looking around, I'm like, someone else I know could be playing that guy, or at least bring their character over to replace him. That'd be fucking dope. And they already allow you to import your friends' characters into your party and shit. So it's just one step away from being like an even better game. So, okay. So Genesis Point says, oh, fuck yeah. Dragon's Dogma 2, agreed. Ryder says, preach, really. I liked Dragon's Dogma from what I've played of it, but it does look and play a little dated. Even when it came out, it looked visually. I thought the details of anytime I talk about the visuals in game, people instantly think of like the graphical prowess, but like the game's graphical prowess was actually kind of low. It didn't look that great when it first came out. Animations are kind of stiff.
Same with Souls games.
But the details of the details were like really good. Yes. It has a look to it that's super intriguing. It feels like the people who made it gave a fuck.
Yeah.
And then even though the animations do feel kind of stiff, you're also like doing a lot of different kinds of animations. And so like it's almost like they cut some, not corners, but because their priorities were so wide, they really spread out and worked on a lot of things as opposed to just making sure the game looks like a Naughty Dog game or something like that.
I would say I prefer art direction over graphics any day.
So, for sure. I mean, indie games in general typically are always prioritizing art direction. Need co-op. Don't be cowards. Agree 100%. Though I feel like I should have played it more. It has a Nexus page and even has ENB support. ENB support. What am I?
I'm lost on that one too.
I don't know what that is.
Gonna have to explain that one to us.
Yeah. Let me know.
Nexus is a mod site, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that's where people get
I think that's where I got the co-op mod for Elden Ring.
Souls mods and shit.
Yeah.
I wonder if it has a co-op mod. Dragon's Dogma.
Oh, fucking maybe.
That'd be fucking cool. That would definitely be worth checking out because that's like the biggest thing I always complain about. Not complain about, but just the one thing I want. Same thing with the co-op mod for Elden Ring. I was like, hell yeah, dude. Someone did it.
Okay, yeah.
Mods. Okay. Yeah. So let's watch this and we can discuss it even further because we've already apparently jumped into the conversation. This is Dragon's Dogma 10th anniversary and Dragon's Dogma 2 announcement teaser in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Okay.
I can't believe it's been out for fucking 10 years
皆さん
already.
こんにちは。この動画をご覧いただきありがとうございます。カプコ
Honestly,
ン
the
ド
older
ラ
I
ゴンズ
get,
ドグマディレクター
the
の
more I
一野秀
believe
明で
things
す。
are old.
先日
Certain
ド
things,
ラゴン
yeah.
ズドグマは10周年を迎えることができました。これも皆様の応援のおかげです。本当にありがとうございます。今日はですね、ドラゴンズドグマがどんな風に生まれたかっていうのを皆さんと一緒に振り返っていきたいと思います。それではこちらの映像をどうぞ。
That's the thing is like graphics are definitely important. I think the game I like the way the game looks, but it is an example of like gameplay's king.
Oh yeah.
It offers gameplay that 99%
一番最
of
初は
games
ゲーム
don't
ブッ
have.
クですね。日本に入ってきた一番最初のゲームブックをもう予約して買って、それ家で夢中になってサイコロ振りながらですね、インチキ専用に進んでいってサイコロ振ってっつってやり直してっていうのをやってたのが一番最初、ハイファンタジーとか RPG に触れたのは一番最初そこでしたね。だからゲームはアーケードコンシューマー限らずめちゃめちゃ好きでずっとやってたんですけ
I
ど
didn't watch it.
RPG も大好きでやってたんですけど、とにかく当時のやつは経験値上げをねして進む、経験値上げして進むっていうところが多くてですね、僕どうしてもこうアクションゲーム派から入ってるってとこもあってですね、ここの戦闘部分がアクションならへんかなってずっと思ってて、特にスト2が出た後とかと戦闘部分がスト2みたいな自由度の高いアクションで、ストーリー性と成長要素がある RPG 欲しいなっていうのはずっと思ってます。当初アーケードと呼ばれる業務用のゲームを作る部署に入って、クイズゲームを作ったり、ストリートファイターゼロを作ったりしてほどなくですね、家庭用ゲーム機の性能が上がっていってアーケードと、変わらない、能力になってきた時にうちの部署も両方アーケードコンシューマー両方作るような感じに変わっていきまして、ちょうどですねその頃から、ジャスティス学園だったりとか
Tasty flicks for sure. Could definitely watch it. How long is it? Do you know?
スターグラディエーターもそうですけども、ほぼ同時
Been
開発
neglecting
みた
that
い
lately.
な
I need to get back on it.
I wasn't here for a week too.
Oh, true.
大
Yeah.
きくコンシューマー側にシフトしていった時期になるんですね。2000年の初め頃っていうのは。
We gotta start an anime.
Between me going and you not picking something for us to watch.
もともとアーケードだった部署
Probably just gonna be Demon Slayer. I feel like we have to finish it, but I really want to watch that.
大きなタイトルが立ち上がった時期があります。
Yeah.
そのうちの一つがかねてからね当時の僕のボスとこういうの作りたいねって言ってたもともとアーケード版のダンジョンズ&ドラゴンズを、うちの部署で作ってたのもありまして、このハイファンタジーの世界を今の技術で、皆さんに遊んでもらいたいなというところでいくつかゲームの案が入ってまして、そのうちの一つが、今のモンスターハンターあれですね。でもう一つがストーリーをプレイに特化したゲームとして僕が担当して立ち上げようとした RPG っていうのが
for a lot of hours of gameplay, so you could play with your friends together across all platforms and talking game chat, and DM can do what they do best. I mean, that sounds like a great idea, and if you know anything about programming, you should make that app. Make some money, dude, because that sounds like a sick idea.
You are asking for a
みんなで遊べるっていうのが自分の作ったキャラクターを友達と貸し借りしながらパーティープレイのようなアクションゲームを作れないかなっていうのをベースに考えてました。それがずっと温めてたポーンシステムの元一番最初の原型っていう形になる。もうお前やれって話になりまして、デビル・メイクライ2担当することになりました。でそれはほどなく終わったんですけども、どうしてもその後3作りたくなりますし、途中から関わってたもんで、ゼロから作りたいなってところで3作らせてくださいっていうことで。
I'm sure they probably have like I'm sure a bunch of people do like third party, but maybe even whoever owns D&D now has one. But I'm sure there's probably an app out there that you can keep track of all your stats and stuff.
Yeah, that thing on Steam is literally a run the whole thing. It doesn't really have like, you're not playing like overhead watching people run around stuff.
As I'm saying, going the next step and like elaborating on that. It's already like certain parts that have been done already, but to make it so it's like a fully functioning, like if you had like a tablet or something, or even do it on your computer, so people can see what's happening, would be really cool. Like I think it's legit a pretty cool idea. It wouldn't have to be super huge scale, but would put certain aspects in the grander grandeur they have. Yeah, no, it sounds cool. Hey, pay attention to this. Now I'm just thinking about D&D.
大概みんなでっかいキャラ出したくなるでしょ。で大概大きいキャラ出てくるのに足元でね切ってるような絵になるから、それならやっぱりもうちょっと
10 episodes. If it's only 10 episodes, I would actually be down to watch that soon.
僕ディレクターでしょ。
So I can knock that out in a couple
そんな
sits
難しいこと
probably.
最初から言いづらいねやんか。
See if Sarah wants to sit down and watch that.
もう難しいことだって分かってるから、今見てもドラゴンズドグマぐらいあんなしっかりと敵に登ってガシガシやって自由にできるようなゲームって出てへんのでも分かるように、当時10年前の時点でそんなんて難しいの分かってる。
だってね、今までずっとアクションやってきたでしょ。ね、だから普通に作ったらね、従来レビューとかね、格闘ゲームで培った
getting around stuff. Did you see the potential leaks for this kind of off topic, but Modern Warfare 2? Apparently there's gonna be like ladders you can place and ropes and shit, and there's gonna be like a wall climbing system and all sorts of crazy shit. Like they said they were inspired by Mirror's Edge.
Random.
Also,
wait, they name dropped the EA game?
Yeah, according to the thing I read, I don't know if it's real or not. But it seemed pretty legit because some guy was pulling up code from I think a mobile developer where all these files that was showing off all stuff like that. But yeah, it sounded fucking crazy, all the stuff they're talking about.
I mean, at this point, if they can do something to change it up and get
Modern Warfare 2019 was a change up, and I think Infinity Ward's going to try and do it again. Also, I read that Infinity Ward had they're searching for somebody who has experience in open world RPGs. So I'm really curious about what the fuck they're doing.
アップダウンの続く
I
丘
just
陵
thought
地
of
が
that
めちゃ
like
くちゃ
when
多
they're
くて、
talking about traversal
そ
and
こ
like
すごく
climbing
参
things
考にして
like
て、
that because like
視界の
they
ブ
said
ライ
like
ド
they
の
have
作
a
り
whole
方と
system
か
of like
遠くの
how you're gonna get
目
over
的地を
walls
すご
now
く
and oh you'll
分
be
か
able
り
to
やすく
hang
見せる
from
のは
fucking they're saying
や
you're
っぱりあ
gonna
あ
be
いう
able to
地
hang
形は
from
本当に
ledges
ゲームの
and you'll
舞
be able
台
to
と
pull
し
your
て
pistol out
ベストマッチしてたと思います。
Weird.
and they're talking about destructible shit like Siege so I'm just like
つながってる
Doesn't
や
sound
つ
like Call of Duty anymore.
I hope it's
っていう
real
話ですね。
because I was reading I was like if any game does
説明
this
したと思うん
I'm
ですけど
fucking I'm stoked
どんな風に思ってました
I'm really
こっちです
neglecting this video I
学者
apologize
様こ
everybody
っちです
I think Modern Warfare 2 honestly will be the last nail in the coffin for Halo to be honest
ね、こう意識
I think
を
it could
感
be
じたりとか
I think it could be
オフなのにオンラインっぽく
I
なるって
think
いうのは
the decision
今
they
で
made
こそ分か
for
るけど
Halo
賢く
to
す
be
る
the
の
way
はまあ
that
頑
it
張ったら
is
できんやけども
was not
賢い
smart
The
か
a la
ら
carte thing.
yeah
Yeah.
it plays great and it's
でや
fun
ってる
but
っ
it's
ぽく感じる
not the right
って
route
わけじゃないっていうところを、まあいかにその
and because there's this lull in like FPSs no one's super stoked about any new
表現するからね。
FPS
100時間も
it's
200
got
時
to
間もプレイしてたら
exist
自
but
分の
yeah
フォン
once
買
a
わ
hard
なくて
hitter
くる
comes
から
out like it's gonna
スクショ撮り
it's
ま
gonna
くったり
hit
とか
Halo hard
してたもんね
してましたね。髪型とか色とか変えまくっていかにやり込み度合いを他の人に見せるかっていうのを
This
The
make-
video is just
この辺がね
romancing about
メインテーマ言い当たりしたんでね俺のフォン
the one game.
すごい、まあ
it's kind of cool though
可
because
愛い
it's,
でし
it's
ょ
been 10 years so
賢い
they're
でしょ
reflecting
変わ
on
っ
it
てるでしょ
Yeah, I
っていう
mean,
のが
but it'd be
I mean,
funny if they
that way.
didn't announce Dragon's Dogma 2 and it's just this
Yeah.
I'm going like yeah that was a cool game
子供
huh
の頃からやってきた本当にね
They're supposedly adding in a
真ん中
Warzone map size game mode
な感じ。
that's similar to Escape from Tarkov. I heard
目に
that.
端に
I heard they're
行かない
gonna do some
ど真ん中
Tarkov
な
mode
感じ
shit,
の
which would be
ファンタジ
really
ーなんかな
cool.
っていう意識ではやってるけどね
And then I heard
まあ
early
海
on
外
that they
の
were going to be doing some kind of
一角獣っ
like
ぽいサイクロプスを本当に初期に書いたことが
mission editor
まあで
type
もそれじゃな
thing
い
with
な
a
って
map,
言って
but I don't know what
い
that
つも
was
が
about.
言ってたよね
There's a lot of weird
サイ
shit
ク
I'm
ロ
hearing
プス
about
って
this
のは
game,
昔
so
ゾ
I
ウ
hope
の
50% of it's real.
骨を見た人が鼻の
The thing I read about like the
ところの
traversal was
穴を
like
目じ
yesterday.
ゃない
You
か
know,
とゾウ
some
の
site,
目
and they said they got like a scoop on it, and they were like
あの
going through all
こう
the
いう
stuff
一つ目
that
の
somebody I guess had talked about. So
大きい巨人がいるんじゃないかっていうところから生まれた伝説なんじゃないかなという話があってこの話がすごい好きだったんで、まあ、その話をベースにちょっと一回考えてみたらどうみたいな、まあ、皮膚感もね象とかからモチーフで持ってこれたりサイとかね象から持ってこれたりしてすごごく、まあ、面白い指針になった
similar to
とは
Halo 3 Forge, where you can add in
Almost,
objects. Yeah, exactly, something like
一
that.
発目やった
Change minor
これが
things
一
in the
発
maps.
目やったと思う
Which is cool because that's where
So they did
essentially
not gonna-
zombie modes in a lot of
決まっ
FPSs
た
now
感じが
kind
ある
of
よね
like
方向性的に
were
はね
birthed there
君ら
outside
も
of
その
I think Combat Arms had
Oh,
a zombie mode pretty early on too, which is kind of weird.
Only if
Halo had a
co-op and the
一
Forge
部分を
mode
まあ食ってるとか
available.
っていうの
True.
でそういうふうに
How's
見えたん
Forge
じゃ
even
ない
going to
か
work
と
with
か合わさっ
the
て
a
る
la
のそう見えたんじゃ
carte
ないかとか
free to play
それこそ
multiplayer?
交尾してるシーンを見て2つ重な
I
ってるやつって
still
新
haven't
しい
played
ま
barely
あ
any
モ
of
ン
the
スターが敵
campaign
だ
of
って誤解してない
Halo
かみたいな
Infinite
話が
because I
あ
won't
る
play
ん
co-op.
ちゃうのという話もあったと思うその上でねまあ過去のね彫像とか本当にオーソドックスでこ
It
うだって
sucks
言わ
because
れ
they
て
made
る
a quality game, man, but I
も
just I
の
don't
が
like
残っ
the
てるから
delivery.
まあまあそういうのをちょっと合わせて極力気をてらわずに
Plus, it's not a bad looking game. The graphics aren't everything, but like it's the worst
まあビ
looking
ジュアル化しようっていうことになって
first party game from Xbox. It's really weird.
改めまし
Because
て
all the other games
ドラ
are
ゴンズドグマ
gorgeous.
10周年
So it's like,
ありがとうござ
why
い
does
ます
Halo look so weird?
ここで私たちから大事なお知らせがありますお待たせしましたドラゴンズドグマ
That's one way to do
2
it.
作ってます
Sick.
楽しんでもらえるゲームをスタッフ一同頑張って作っていますご期待ください
I'm definitely gonna look forward to it. And I appreciate that you guys talked about a game I like. I feel really bad later if somebody like finds this video, watches it, they're like, oh, they're gonna talk about Dragon's Dogma, and I'm sitting here talking about fucking Call of Duty. That's gonna really piss someone off. All right. What do we think? Not much from that,
No,
but
I was say there's not much there for me to go off of. I mean, obviously they were celebrating it. And, if I was like a huge fan of Dragon's Dogma, I probably would have got more out of it. But for me, I was just kind of waiting for details on a second game. And it was just an announcement at the end. So, I mean, it was all right. It's cool for people who are like were super into it and did put in that multi-hundred hours that, they were kind of talking about there. I played it too late. And so, like, a lot of the older systems made it hard for me to want to keep playing it. But I definitely love a lot of the ideas in there, and I wanted to play it more.
And you're open to a Dragon's Dogma too.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
I just needed to feel a little more modern.
Which I think we're gonna get.
Yeah.
I think Capcom has been like really doing good on making like some of the best like Japanese AAA games of late. So I feel really comfortable and confident in whatever they plan on doing.
Yeah.
Which is really nice to say, because like there's a while there, and they all go through it, where I was like, hey, Capcom is really not utilizing their properties a whole lot, and now they're just killing it. So I'm really excited to see what they do with this, because I mean, Capcom is just not missing with most of their properties. Yeah. And with the success of Monster Hunter World so late in that game's life cycle, now it's the biggest it's ever been, based off like one game ago. Dragon's Dogma has a niche following. They could definitely do the same thing with Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah. I'm also really appreciating, and Dragon's Dogma is included in this, but like a lot of these companies, were staying really safe for a long time, but now they are looking at these IPs they own, and they're kind of like flirting with them. I mean, even Square, though I don't think Square's doing a great job with it. But you got like a new Star Ocean actually in the works, a Valkyrie profile game coming out, like all that kind of stuff. And then in the case of, obviously, with Capcom, they're doing these like fighting game collections to see if there's interest in their other fighting games, Dragon's Dogma, yada, yada, yada. So it is good to see. But if people want them, obviously they got to fork up the money for them too, though, because they're not going to respond to anything else. So
yeah, exactly. Fucking yes, support this shit. Before I jump into my impressions real quick, I want to kind of catch up with chat. Josh said, or Genesis Point said, announce it. My balls are a deep blue hue. Well, we got the announcement. Hopefully you've gotten that taken care of. Echo TV says Halo Infinite Forge coming out September. Modern Warfare 2 dropping F2P. Warzone 2 a 3-month season and more features at launch than Halo in a year after release. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. But if there's anything COD knows how to do, it's how to drop a game and support it.
In all fairness, they do it all the time. Every year.
They do it all the time. Yeah. They got plenty of fucking practice. Psycho Scream, you don't hear much about Halo Infinite since it just exists at the moment. Yeah, it's really sad because like it came out, I played it, I was like, Halo's back, baby, fucking this is a lot of fun to play. But then I was looking at like how long it took to fucking go through and unlock shit. I don't like that like Halos from years ago, generations ago, you just played them and you just unlocked shit for playing it, like leveling up and unlocking all this armor stuff, and now I gotta spend like fucking an insane amount of time to unlock one fucking piece of armor. Like it's
dude, Reach had so much stuff in it.
Yeah, no. Yeah. And you just played it and you just got that stuff. It was all in the game. It wasn't like part of some fucking battle pass thing. So anyway, yeah, I think a lot of those factors really killed it off. Plus, like, game modes are becoming like part of the seasons and shit. They're like, oh, in this patch coming up, we're gonna add like 2 game modes. Like, no, just drop the fucking game modes, like Halo, like the Halo we like. You already made it, so fucking let's get that. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, I'm only missing one achievement to have 100% on Halo, and literally don't want to play it because the game's a chore.
That's a terrible sentence right there.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's why people stop playing WoW, is because it started feeling like a chore.
Yeah, I get it, and that's a really good point, because I mean, like, I don't have that experience, I can't say that, but here somebody is saying that they've played it plenty, and they're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Dragon's Dogma was a fun game back in the day, honestly, and the show was also fun. I've not watched the show. I may do that for Tasty Flicks, so stay tuned. We will announce that over there and on here if we do that. But I think I'm gonna. I've already decided. That was an easier decision to make than what one of the two animes we should watch. Let's see. Capcom is killing it, but still don't believe in crossplay. Fair. If they have one weakness, it's that. Also,
the fact that Monster Hunter is not crossplay is fucking
crazy. This is the biggest mistake they've ever made in their lives.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's insane. Like if everybody could just play it from wherever, Monster Hunter World, Rise,
yeah.
That would be sick as hell. I don't know what other games they could do that. Isn't Street Fighter 6 supposed to be crossplay though?
I think so.
So that's good.
Yeah, on everything.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm glad they're doing that, and hopefully that works out for them. But yeah, Monster Hunter is a huge miss. It's a huge miss.
Yeah.
Also, that they haven't made a new Lost Planet is a huge miss. I want that more than Dino Crisis, like everybody else.
Get Exo whatever instead.
No, that game looks okay, but Lost Planet, like a Lost Planet 2 style game, but modern. Holy shit, I would love that so much. Yeah, 4-player co-op, fucking oof. Let's see. I feel like a lot of it is fan base telling them to utilize their IPs better and actually make the games people want finally. Yeah, and it seems like there's always these waves of listening to the fan base, communicating with your fan base, and then riding that success because people want to support people that they love. And then you get really successful, you start becoming complacent, you're like, we got this down, we know how to make money, we just released another one of these, we just keep making the same kind of content we've been making. And then you kind of plateau for a while, and then the people get upset because they're like, hey, you guys aren't listening to us anymore. And they're like, well, this is what you guys love, blah, blah, blah. This is what we're going to do. And then they crash, and then they do it again, hopefully, unless you're Konami. And then you say, fuck everybody. So, yeah, it is important to listen to your community. Definitely make what you want to make, but you are trying to sell something to someone as well. So I think there needs to be a relationship there. I do hate when the fans are like, they don't do what we want. But I also hate when the people trying to sell you shit is like, just buy it and shut up. So there has to be a middle ground there.
Oh, for sure. I think a good example I can think of too is like, like when the Final Fantasy 14 team does their dev talks, and they do them live. So he'll be reading chat, and people ask questions, and sometimes he'll say like, it's something we can look into, or it's easy enough, we'll just do that. And there's been some times where people are like, hey, can you make this one thing easier? And he'll just kind of laugh and be like, just do it the way it is in the game. Like he'll just straight up tell him like, nah, that's just beyond lazy at that point. Just play it. It's fine. Like, so there is a line, obviously. So
yeah,
you got to be, as a creator in general, regardless if it's gaming or not, you have to be able to still have some say. Otherwise, like, it's going to end up a really hollow project. So
yeah. Yeah, that's why I think the communication between the person making it and the people buying it needs to be clear, and I think they should listen to each other. For sure. So, let's see. Yeah, I have 100% on my campaign playthrough and spent 28 hours in total completing LAS. Is that D? And collecting every single item and didn't get anything for finishing that. That sounds dope. So you played it quite a bit. Definitely makes sense you have such a strong opinion. Psycho Scream says, Monster Hunter, no crossplay is why I'm not getting Sunbreak.
Really?
You're not getting Sunbreak? Wait, don't you play on Switch?
Yeah, but honestly, the only reason I even stay on Switch is because I play with Chris and Scream on there, and Chris plays on both, so.
Yeah, and I have it on Switch. I haven't played it barely any. And I've stopped myself from even thinking about buying it on PC because anyone I'm going to play with is on Switch. And it's typically, if I'm going to dependently play with people, I typically just buy where they're going to play it. So,
I'll say if Scream's sticking to his guns on that, I might start over on PC. So.
Well, what the fuck am I going to do?
If you want to play on Switch, I'll play on Switch. That's totally fine.
I mean, that's where I own it, so that's probably where I'm gonna play it. Yeah. So
I just figure
Sarah also has it on Switch, so
you and Sarah might be more inclined to play something on your computer.
I mean, typically, but I've already made the decision, so I don't feel like I need to buy it again unless it sucks on there. Legendary All Skulls on for Halo. Okay, that makes complete sense now. Nope. Might just boycott Monster Hunter 6 unless they announce crossplay for it. Is he fucking around?
I don't know.
Is he trolling?
I mean, if you're that passionate about crossplay, speak with your wallet. So
he's the only guy who's just not gonna. He's gonna speak with his wallet, but nobody else is.
You can't tell people to speak with their wallet and then.
I'm joking. I completely agree with you. Yeah. Hopefully they had crossplay though. It's gonna happen. They're going to do it at some point, 100%. Not with the games that exist right now, but I'm sure later on it will be. I would be very surprised if they make like a Monster Hunter World 2 and it doesn't have crossplay. That would be like fucking insane. I think Street Fighter 6 is definitely a sign that Capcom is thinking about it if they are doing this with that game. So let's hope for a better future for all. Yeah, so my opinion on this, it was fun. I mean, I was talking about Call of Duty, so that's my bad. But it is cool to kind of hear their thoughts on what they did in the last 10 years. It is a game that a lot of people love, and he's had other priorities, but he recognizes people like it. I like that he went into where his inspiration came from, and it is interesting that he made like a fantasy game. And then the reveal of Dragon's Dogma 2 is awesome because even though we didn't get to see it, at least we know confirmed it's happening. We get to stop going like, where's Dragon's Dogma 2? Please, let's get a Dragon's Dogma 2. That's over. Now we just go, okay, fucking dope. Hopefully it's dope. I'm waiting to see it.
Now we just get to go, when do we get to see it? When do we
Yeah. We get to be
annoying a different way.
Yeah, next year people are like, where's Dragon's Dogma 2 guy? Where the fuck is it? And it's going to be annoying.
Yeah.
Until they finally show it. So I'm just going to...
Life of a developer.
Yeah. I feel bad for them, but then I also don't because some devs are shit. But that's a to each their own thing. Let's see. But yeah, overall really cool. But I'm glad they kept it to 12 minutes. That was responsible. I'll keep it that way. Let's see. I feel like a lot of games that have the same game on multiple platforms not having cross-play and cross-progression in 2022, they're missing out and are behind the time. I agree 100%, and I think cross-play should absolutely be there in most games, even FPSs. I've argued with people about this because they're like, well, I don't want to fight against people on PC if I'm on console. I'm like, they should absolutely have in the options a way to turn it off. But it should be there because some people might go like, I'm fucking great on a controller, and most people on PC aren't as good as I am on a controller. And they should have the option to play with those people. Cross progression though, I 100% agree with. I love a game where I can play it here on PC and then go play it on like my PS5 or like Diablo Immortal. I'm already not playing it anymore, but it's really cool to be able to play it on my phone and then play it on my PC. That's awesome. I just wish every game had that.
Yeah.
So, no, Destiny does have it now.
Yes,
Destiny
it does.
2, yeah. Just not the expansions. You have to buy those separately, which is, I get it.
Same with Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah,
you can play it everywhere, but you have to buy it still.
Yeah, I get why they do it, but it sucks. But it's still is neat that like I can just start playing Destiny 2 on my PS5 and I have my character and all that shit. So I wish every game had that. It's awesome. Since every game has a server now, like your data is somewhere.
Including single player games.
Yeah, exactly. So cross progression should be on like everything.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's just dumb they sell the game on multiple platforms and PC later, then just watch the console community die since everyone just waited for the PC release and went to PC. So, not BSing. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. And I think the way they release it is fucking lame. It's not smart. They could definitely do it better. They should release it simultaneously. Have cross progression, cross play, and yeah, I agree. So yeah, if that's how you feel, definitely stick to your guns and don't support it. I also feel like games nowadays need the option to turn off console to PC crossplay, but still have console to console enabled, since I know some people have friends on Xbox and PlayStation, but both don't want to play with PC players, and this goes for every game, to be honest. Yeah, I agree.
The only go ahead. I was going to say the only stipulation I have, or not stipulation, the counter to that I have is the more toggles you have, the slower matchmaking gets because of all the rules the matchmaking system has to do. And the only reason I have any like knowledge on this at all is because when people ask for all these specifics in Final Fantasy 14, sorry, I play the game a lot, so the developers straight up say like, we can do that, but your queue times will go up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, anytime you do add variables to being more particular on who you're playing with, you're now having small communities. And I kind of hate that because I have experience with that with how Battlefield and COD used to be. When you bought a map pack, you would have to find people with those maps. And like with Battlefield, they used to have like their map packs as like almost like standalone things. You had to like launch this grouping of maps. And if everybody's on like, they're playing like Metro 24/7, nobody's playing that.
Yep.
And it just felt like a waste of fucking, like, you guys built all these maps, no one's playing them because you separated everything. So, I mean, it's not the exact same thing, but it's to that point of like more variables in your search makes it more difficult to find people to play with. So, but I do think that crossplay should be across the board. And I think people should have the option to turn off connecting with PC, because there's a bunch of reasons. Everybody always goes like, well, people on PC can like mod easier. I'm like, have you seen the stupid shit people can buy for console? People are doing all sorts of stupid shit on console as well. It's definitely happening more on PC because it's just fucking...
It's more accessible.
It's just
on
software.
PC, yeah.
Yeah, but for like $20, you can go on like Amazon and buy like a little mod kit for your fucking console and get like auto aim and all sorts of shit and like no recoil and all sorts of stuff. So that's an issue across the board. But a person who's really good on mouse and keyboard, or even decently good, is going to typically be better than someone who's decently good on a controller. But there's people who are very good on controller as well. And I mean, I've even dabbled with playing FPSs on PC with a controller just to see how I did. I did fine.
Yeah.
Like if you just have like a situational awareness of the map, you know where people typically are coming from. A lot of the times you're just like aiming and you're playing different. You're strafing into your shots more. You're like, you just play different. It's just, if you're really good with that mouse and keyboard and you can aim like a motherfucker with a mouse, you're gonna definitely benefit.
Yeah.
All those people who grew up playing like Quake and shit, they know.
Arena shooters, yeah.
Yeah. People got really good at aiming really quickly, and that still is definitely how it is. I watched some people playing like Hunt Showdown, and I'm pretty good at that game, and I see some people, I'm like, holy fuck.
I even see jokes of people talking about like the practice like programs they've set up to get better at like aiming at CSGO and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
no, there's obviously some very good people, and if you're on console, you're already going like, oh, why am I losing? I don't like losing. And then you find out someone's on PC, it's easy to go like, well, that's why I'm losing. I don't want to deal with that. So anyway, let's see. Turn off console, blah blah blah. Yeah, with Cronus Zim
XIM
inputs that you can add cheats onto, and it's literally undetectable. Yeah, there's all sorts of shit. I've been telling people that for years, because I've heard for years just people going like, oh, PC this, PC that. I'm like, dude, no, it's so accessible to mod out your consoles now. You just buy a little peripheral, you plug your controller into it, or you put it on the back of your controller. Changes fucking all sorts of stuff. It's too common. All right, so let's get this moving. We got another video to watch. I play crossplay on Battlefield 2042 and don't mind it. I keep it on for the short queue times. Exactly. Yeah, you're going to get in quicker. Are you liking it, Battlefield 2042? Is there sales? I would be interested in checking it out again, but I'm also worried because I heard that there's a skeleton crew working on the game and they've abandoned it. So that freaks me out, the idea of picking that up, because I'm like, well, do I just wait for the next Battlefield, whatever they're going to work on? Yeah, so that's it for this video, though. Let us know in the chat and in the comments. We've already talked about it here, but in the comments, if you're watching this after the fact, what you guys think of the Dragon's Dogma 10th anniversary and Dragon's Dogma 2 announcement? It is real. It's confirmed. Are you excited? Do not give a shit. Maybe you didn't play the first one. You're like, I don't give a fuck about no Dragon's Dogma. And yeah, let us know everything you're thinking about in the comments below when it comes to all that shit. And let's see. Last video is Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary celebration. 25 years of Final Fantasy VII. Do you feel old? Been a while, dude.
Yeah. I don't really think about age that much, to be honest.
Yeah, neither do I really. I'm 35 and I feel great. I'm
39. I feel 39, but mentally I feel good.
Yeah.
Physically, not so much.
It's just weird to think like so many of these like legendary games have been around like that long now.
Oh, yeah.
But like the time moving from that time to now, it doesn't feel weird. Yeah, it was a while back, but
yeah.
even when I talk about like PS3 games or Xbox 360, I'm like, those are pretty fucking old. I'll talk about one thing that keeps coming up in conversation, talking about Resident Evil with people. I always say I want a Resident Evil, original Resident Evil remake. And they're like, well, they already did that. I'm like, on GameCube.
Yeah.
That was so long ago, dude. Like, let's get another one. I'm cool with that. And they're like, well, that one was good. I'm like, yeah, it was. I want a third one. I want another good one.
Hey, you don't want a modern one?
Yeah. Like with the modern graphics, they already did 2, 3, 4. Exactly. On that note, dude, who the hell has a PS3? Because I have no way of playing fucking Metal Gear Solid 4.
I have one.
Nobody will fucking release that or let you stream it or anything. And I just want to fucking play that game. Anyway, I'm going all over the place with this. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since Final Fantasy VII came out. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves it, I think.
Asterisk.
Yeah. Some people are like, no, 6 is better. Or people are like, I don't like Final Fantasy. That's for nerds.
I mean, your preference is valid.
Yeah. Real quick, no disconnects, but servers are a little laggy here and there. Does it feel more complete? I heard they added like scoreboards and voice chat, which is good to...
Wait, it didn't have voice chat?
No.
What the fuck is that?
An unfinished
That's
game.
Embarrassing.
It's and they didn't have a campaign. So everybody's like, oh, they'll put all the work they would have put in the campaign into the multiplayer, and then it's like missing features, and it's like, and with the scoreboard, they were like, well, we don't want it to feel like competitive, and I'm like,
it's a fucking shooter.
Yeah. I just think the team working on Battlefield and EA are just trying to do like the Blizzard thing and making like, we're gonna make games for everybody, and just like
fuck yourself.
Feel soulless. But there's a lot of things about 2042 that were cool though. I just wasn't when I played it when it came out.
I don't even like competitive games. You guys are being bitches.
True. Far more complete than at launch. That's cool. I have actually been hearing good things about it, so I might have to look into it again, or I guess go back and play Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 1. Those are the ones that are calling to me, I think. Anyway, I'll figure it out. I need to watch a video too and see what they've added. So anyway, Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary celebration. This is 14 minutes. I do know what they show, so I'm not going to speculate anything like that. I am stoked to see what they show though, because I have not seen anything. I've just heard. Is there anything you're hoping to see? Possibly, Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 or...
I really doubt it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But maybe.
Yeah.
I already know that they had said they were working on ways to play their mobile games outside of the PSP ecosystem, so I'm hoping to see that, and I have a feeling we're going to. And, yeah. It's all 7 related, so it can only be
7.
Yeah, so if it's not the remake, then it's got to be all the side projects they've ever worked on, which need to be accessible, because they seem to have this goal of like making all their games accessible on current gen, which I'm totally down for.
Yeah.
Being able to play every Final Fantasy on Steam is fantastic. Outside of 7 Remake, which is on Epic, I don't understand that, but whatever.
Yeah, I'll get it out of there.
Yeah.
I just remembered, because I've been playing ESO again, wish that had crossplay. That bothers like every MMO. If you have a console variant of it, it needs to have crossplay.
If you have an MMO, it should just connect to one server.
It bothers the fuck out of me that everybody I know who plays ESO plays on console, and I'm playing on PC, and I have a blast playing it on there, but I don't want to start over now. So,
or you could play 14.
Yeah, Well, I think your pick for game of the month is next month, I think. So better start thinking about that.
Is it coming up already?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, this year's flying by. Well, we'll find out. I can't talk on this too much because I know. So we're just going to watch this. We'll react to it, and then we'll talk about it at the end. This is Final Fantasy VII 25th Anniversary Celebration in 3, 2, 1, and go. Gameplay footage captured on various platforms. Oh, I guess that would make sense if they're just going to show this.
I should watch that again.
Yeah, actually, we should watch it and maybe review it. I haven't seen it in a while. I feel like there's no good video games movies. I'm like, haven't children's good?
Yeah, and I know people bitch about the WoW one, but I think the World of Warcraft movie is pretty good too. So let's go.
Yeah, on Twitter I saw somebody post a picture of that, and I was like, "It's your boy," and I posted a picture of Ghost. Got a couple likes. So people know. If you know, you know.
I will never not get goosebumps when it happens.
Oh yeah.
People swear in their music making ability is insane.
Cloud, let us defy destiny together.
We're gonna drop plate number 7.
You're gonna do what?
What the?
This will be a memory to cherish for the rest of your life.
Maybe I'll try to get you to beat that instead next week.
You should.
It's gonna get harder for you to avoid spoilers.
We deserve what's coming to them.
Yeah, but I'm not your sister.
Is the
No. Let the hunt begin.
is the what's it called?
Surrender
The
to
newer
the
version of it. Is it on PC?
Embrace it.
This is just wrong.
Maybe I'll just buy it. Start over.
I thought Integrated was on PS5 only. I could be wrong.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
Thank
that
you.
answers that. I'll just go buy it right now.
thank you for putting it on Steam.
皆さんこんにちは。ファイナル
Yeah,
フ
I
ァ
might
ンタ
just
ジー
buy it on there and
7
fucking
25周
start
年
over.
放送ファイナルファンタジー7 25th アニバーサリーセレブレーションの案内役を務めます北瀬義則です。この放送では FF7 に関連したさまざまな情報をお届けしていきます。短い時間ではありますが皆様にお伝えしたい最新情報がたくさんありますので
I wanna see
ぜひ
116.
最後までお付き合いください。
I'm just so
最初に
excited
ご覧
because
い
I
ただ
know
いた
the
のは
leadership
フ
is
ァイナルファンタジー7リメイクインターグレードの
16, so
Steam 版
Well,
の
I'm
配
excited
信
anyway,
決
but
定の
hearing
お知
that
ら
makes
せ
me
で
more
した。
excited.
スティーブンユーザーの皆さんお待たせいたしました。
yeah, we
ついに
went
この日が
through
やってまいりまし
a
た。
wave of games that were
プレイステー
during
ション4
Square's
版フ
like
ァイナルファンタジー
rough
7リメイクは
patch. 16's
お
the
かげさ
first
まで
one
皆
not
様に
to
大変高い評
Yeah,
価をい
that's
ただ
sort
き
of
ま
the
した。
point.
Yeah.
昨年はプレイステーション5
Well,
版
it's like 15 has some
そして
weaknesses to
PC 向けに
it,
は
but I
フ
liked
ァイ
it
ナ
a
ルファン
lot.
タジー
Like when I
7
beat
リ
it,
メ
I
イク
loved
イン
it.
ターグレ
Yeah,
ードを
had it not
エピ
gone
ックゲー
through
ムストア
the
で発売い
crazy
たしました。
like 13 verses
この
like
度 Steam で
yeah.
リリースするこ
development
とで
hell,
さらに
Story
多くの
15
プレイヤーの
is really
皆さん
good.
に
It just
楽しん
suffers
でい
from
ただき
like
たい
them
と
not
考
knowing what the
えて
hell
おり
they
ま
were
す。
doing making the game.
またファイナルファンタジー7リメイクインターグレードはすでに
God,
1
we're
日
advertising
で
that,
発売されている
Still haven't fucking
Steam デッ
got
クにも
my
対応いたします。
yeah.
Steam デックなら場所を選ばず
The way the economy's
気軽
going
に
to, I'm
本
like,
作を
should
お楽し
I
みい
even
ただけ
buy
ま
that
す。
thing now? But
さて
I
続いては FF725 周年に関連した情報をご覧ください。
Green screen baby does that.
that'd be funny if they did that. Just a body double standing there, and then they put his head on him.
Dude, I saw some merch already today. Yeah, I saw that. That was a dope clock.
I don't even want a clock in my room, but that thing's sick as shit.
Yeah,
I want that fucking berserk thing. That you,
saw those today.
that you fucking.
You should get it. The pre-orders only last till July.
Oh, they're up now.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that today too.
That's
and
cool.
it doesn't move, so I'm tempted to get it. There's no square figures are super expensive.
Is that a ring?
Yeah. Have you seen Yoshi P's hands?
No, never looked at Yoshi P's hands.
He has a ring on almost every finger. Square sells a lot of jewelry.
Yeah, that's weird.
Final.
Must be the Japanese market.
Yeah, even like when I worked at GameStop years ago, collector's editions of Japanese games would come with necklaces and stuff. So.
Nerd clock. That's fun.
That's how the rich people are nerds, man.
True.
FF725 周年、ファンの皆様と楽しめるよう、さまざまな試みを準備しております。楽しみにお待ちください。
Or they own an oil.
それでは FF7 モバイルタイトルの情報を続けてご覧ください。
You're losing me. At least they're starting with this.
Is this their battle royale?
Yeah, it's out.
I should try it.
You should.
Can you play on PC? Can I get a emulator and use my mouse?
Called BlueStacks. I use it for
just
some of my
wreck people. This is out?
Yeah.
What's it called? First Soldier?
First Soldier.
I hate mobile games. But ever since I got this phone, the screen makes it more
accessible for you?
Yeah. Like it almost feels like I'm playing like a handheld game now with my screen out. Because I was playing like Diablo Immortal, I was like, this isn't that bad, honestly. With a screen this big, my thumbs aren't in the way. Like,
I need buttons, but yeah.
Yeah. I definitely prefer that.
The lack of feedback is awful.
It has controller support.
Yeah, so
but it's also a piece of shit game.
This is the one I am interested in, because this is supposed to cover every Final Fantasy VII thing as one.
My God, look at him.
It's also a mobile game.
What is this?
It's literally all Final Fantasy VII stories in chapters on mobile.
I fucking love the way it looks.
Yeah, I'll probably play this
because it looks like a newer version of that older style.
The PS1.
Yeah. But it's got like...
It literally reminds me of Final Fantasy VII, like the original.
Yeah, I just like that it has like the modern models in combat. That's fucking cool. Dude, I want this. When does this come out?
Not sure what to say.
Is this going to be like a free play thing or premium?
I don't know.
It's a fucking gacha game.
They barely announced it last time they talked about this.
I love the chibi style.
Yeah, they talked about it last year. They said they were gonna basically have the entire Final Fantasy VII, like, you know.
Didn't they do that with 15?
Yeah, but that was just for Final Fantasy 15. This will literally include like Advent Children's story, Crisis Core, yada yada yada. It'll all be in one game.
Yeah, it just reminds me of the 15 thing because it's like you can experience the story on your phone essentially.
These scenes are straight out of 7, so at least it's true as well, which I appreciate.
Yeah. No, this is... I mean, it's a mobile thing, but it's fucking sick.
If it comes out on Switch, I'd be even happier, but... Or PC, for that matter. There you go. Ever Crisis. It's the whole thing. What's it coming out? Not yet.
Close beta.
現在配信中のファイナルファンタジー7ザ・ファーストソルジャーの新情報とファイナルファンタジー7エバークライスの最新映像をお届けいたしました。続いてはこちらをご覧ください。FF7 ファンの皆様にはきっと喜んでいただける情報になるのではないでしょうか。もちろん私自身も非常に楽しみにしております。
Even better.
Boy, oh boy. Yep. The price of freedom is steep.
What is that voice actor?
What is that voice actor?
Zach speaking.
Making progress, Zach?
And Geo. I can cut loose, right?
Within reason.
It's showtime.
This looks way better.
Soldier.
Is it a remake or
Genesis? A month ago, he went missing during a mission in Wutai.
You know, I've never actually seen you use that.
Yeah, I never played Crisis Core either.
Use brings about wear, tear, and rust, and that's a real waste.
What is that voice? Yeah, that voice is pretty bad.
It's gonna be weird being able to play as Zack, you know, before he gets Angio's sword and having to look like Zephyr as well.
This is so clean looking.
Gave birth to the man we know as Genesis.
I'm stoked too, because yeah, I like literally have never played.
Project Genesis.
There's so many games I like had to skip over.
Zack the puppy. What do you know? Shit, lapdogs!
Chris.
Yeah, I never had PSP.
Hello?
Heaven?
Not quite. It's a church.
This is like a substantial
By the way,
upgrade.
what is your dream?
Yeah, that was her.
To become first?
Yeah.
Is it?
No, to become a hero.
Yeah, none of it's high res, but it's definitely in the same art style.
Embrace your dreams. And whatever happens, protect your honor.
As soldier!
That voice, dude. Hopefully this has a Japanese fucking option.
Dope.
Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII
Oh,
Reunion.
yeah, it's on
Damn. Damn.
I'm buying that.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I'm
次の映像
fucking
が最
excited
後の
about
情
that.
報です。それではどうぞご覧ください。
I should be Final
That's a
Fantasy
good
VII.
announcement.
I need to be Final Fantasy VII.
You do.
They're releasing too much Final Fantasy VII things. I feel like I'm getting left
What
behind.
we've done, that's set in stone. The past is forever. But the future, even if it has been written, can be changed. So focus on the future, not the past.
He wants to finish what he started. He wants to reclaim his birthright and rule over the planet with Genova at his side. I saw you lying there. I figured it was too late.
Wait, what are you implying? That I died? That I'm some kind of imposter?
You were here with me 5 years ago. Where are you? What happened to you?
I honestly wasn't expecting this.
I'm trying so hard to find you.
Sorry. Feel like I failed you.
Wow. That chill a little bit.
Rebirth.
Is that what the second one's called?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm glad they didn't just call it remake too.
Yeah.
Next winter.
Like 2023 next winter? Or like upcoming?
ファイナルファンタジー7 リメイクプロジェクトの第2作目にあたる
I
フ
did
ァイ
not
ナルファン
expect
タ
it
ジー
this year at
7
all.
リバースを発表させていただきました。現在チーム一丸となって鋭意
God, there's
制
some
作
weird
中で
scenes in
す
there. They are really making their
そ
own
して
version of that
リメイ
story.
クプロジェクトの発表時から複数作にわたって展開することをお伝えしておりましたが、ファイナルファンタジー7リメイク、ファイナルファンタジー7リバース、そしてその先のもう一作の全3部作で完結することをお知らせい
So
た
they're
しま
gonna
す。
do a trilogy.
まずはファイナルファンタジー7リバースを
They
楽
have
し
a
みにし
lot
てい
to
ただき、
cover the next game then.
ぜひ本プロジェクトの完
They
結
didn't
ま
even
で
finish disc
お付き合いい
1.
ただければと思います。
It'll be interesting to see
25
how
周
they
年も
handle
それ
it.
以
I'm sure
降
the third
も
one's gonna be
皆
huge.
様
though.
にお楽しみいただけるようチーム一同尽力してまいります。本日はお付き合いいただきましてありがとうございました。
It is crazy that Final Fantasy VII is a franchise now.
Yeah. They tried doing it with 13 and failed. They tried doing it with 10 and kind of saw some success.
Yeah, it's just weird because that game came out like back in the day, and now they're like, oh, but there's also all these other Final Fantasy things. So way more than I anticipated originally on what this event would show. We got like 4 things they showed off, all Final Fantasy VII related. So because I went into this knowing what they would show, but finally seeing it, I'll let you go. What'd you take away from this?
That was a packed 14 minutes. That was insane. So first and foremost, the mobile stuff's obviously kind of long.
They showed off in 14 minutes.
Yeah. The mobile stuff's whatever for me. I'm not like a big mobile guy, though. I am looking forward to that entire Final Fantasy VII storyline being told in one game thing.
That looks awesome to me.
Yeah. And I really hope it's available on multiple things and not just mobile. But right now, I know that the plan is mobile. So
hopes and prayers, dude. I'm hoping it's not on just mobile.
Once we got past that, though, nothing but good things. Like nothing but good things, minus some voice acting. But
yeah,
being able to play Crisis Core is huge.
Fuck yeah!
I didn't get to play it. It looks great. I'm so excited to check that out because that really kind of delves into obviously the mostly in the Sephiroth's past, and Zack, but Sephiroth being like the villain of 7, like getting to know like what he was like before he became psychopath. Psychopath is gonna be really cool to see. And then I honestly did not expect them to show anything from the second part. And a little bit they showed me is not helping my like weird feeling I've had since I beat 7 remake. So I'm trying not to be too attached to the original 7. So I'm trying to.
Well, and it's still there.
Yeah. 100%.
So like if you don't like what they do, or you're nuanced about how you view it, you can always go back and play the original.
And I'm trying really hard to be like that. I loved 7 remake before anyone takes that as I hated it. I didn't.
I think it was a pretty common view of the game, and I still haven't beaten it. But
it's just hard to.
Some people finished it. And
the nostalgia.
Yeah, 100%. And Final Fantasy VII is one of the most nostalgic games I have in me, so I can only imagine that's for a lot of people.
Well, and up until this year, it was my favorite Final Fantasy game of all time. So,
which is fucking wild to me. That 14 is better. But
it's a really good story. So.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, I mean, I'm pumped. That's a lot of Final Fantasy in the next 2 years.
This winter we get this Crisis Core, which again I'm stoked to fucking play. And then in a year we're getting the next part of the remake,
and likely that mobile game and Final Fantasy 16.
16 comes out next year as well. So that's a lot of Final Fantasy.
It's a lot of Final Fantasy coming out.
That's fucking crazy.
And I get my patches every 4.5-5 months for 14, so it's pretty insane. Square's kind of killing it right now. So
yeah, it's pretty
as
crazy.
long as they're good, obviously.
They're looking good though,
but they look good. Yeah. No, I'm pumped. It's awesome.
Yeah. Psycho says all this Final Fantasy VII content is good. The good boy Zach, and continues to say no nostalgia here. Never got through the first disc of the original Final Fantasy VII. I mean, it's honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I beat the original like 3 times, so I have some pretty fond memories of it.
Oh yeah, me too. Crisis Core, I'm really excited to play. Like really excited because it's a game that I didn't play on a PSP. It was at the height too when I was listening to like Gokt and shit. So I was like, wait, Gokt is in a Final Fantasy when he influenced a bunch of characters for Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Like this is crazy. And then, it's a Final Fantasy VII story. So, like, I always really wanted to play it. I think I assume this is a remaster.
It has to be.
But it's a really heavily done remaster. This is very cleaned up. This does not look like a PSP game. It's exciting. I'm stoked I'll be able to play it. I'm stoked it's going to be out on everything. And I'm stoked it looks more akin to, what Final Fantasy VII looks like now. Which I think has been a reasonable evolution of. I've never been unhappy with how the characters have looked over time, and so I'm glad they're continuing the way they look now. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I want to be excited about Rebirth. I'm stoked that we saw it. I'm stoked it's coming out next year. It's not even that far out. But before I can even think about it, I have to fucking beat Remake. So I got to prioritize that. But it looks good. Barely saw anything, but this is kind of like Dragon's Dogma 2, even though we did get to see something. Just tells people, hey, it is definitely coming. It's coming pretty soon, and we're not calling it Remake 2. We're calling it Rebirth, which I think is cool. The third one will probably have like a similar, one name thing, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I'm downloading First Soldier, so I'll let you guys know how that is. I'll definitely talk about it on Tastecast or something. And I forgot what the other thing's called. Ever Crisis. Ever Crisis is a big surprise for me. Because apparently they've talked about it before. I forgot about it, I guess, but it looks really cool to me.
You probably saw iOS, Android, and shut your brain off.
Probably. I mean, First Soldier I've known existed, and I'm pretty sure I knew it was out. But I'm like, I'm not a mobile gamer, let alone a fucking phone gamer. So it doesn't really do a whole lot for me. But I love the old school PlayStation looking character models, but modern graphics. And then I also like that the combat is more turn-based like it used to be, but with more modern realistic characters. It's a really cool visual style. I like the idea that it's covering the whole story. That's really fun for me, especially there's a charm to having that in your pocket, I guess. You can just play through a version of Final Fantasy VII on your phone at all times, but I would prefer to play that on a controller or on my PC. So hopefully it does come out to other things, but it looks awesome. And honestly, it's really weird. In 14 minutes, I saw a bunch of Final Fantasy VII stuff, and outside of First Soldier, which I'll get back to you on, everything was fucking cool looking. Like, I don't know. Square Enix is just really, it seems, doing the right thing with Final Fantasy lately, which is really nice to see. I'm stoked about 16. I'm stoked about what they're doing with Remake and Rebirth. I haven't finished it, so I don't have my opinions on finishing it. And then the stuff they're doing with 7 outside of First Soldier, seemingly don't feel like just like cash-ins. They feel like they legit are trying to like reignite Final Fantasy VII for old fans and new fans. And that's really cool. I think they're doing it responsibly. They're doing it in a way that's really exciting. So, and then 14's killing it. So it's like the Final Fantasy brand is absolutely healthy and doing really well right now. And it's great to see, because there was a time there where I was like, Square Enix is really just not utilizing their properties well. And that's not the case anymore. Right after 14 getting back on its feet after its launch, and then 15 having some issues, but overall being well received. It seems like they've been doing good ever since then. So it's just funny, like when you brought up how much they packed into 14 minutes. It's true. Like I feel like we just sat here for like, not in a bad way, but like the amount of stuff they showed off, I'm like, this could have been like a 30-minute fucking thing. That's crazy that they had this much Final Fantasy VII stuff to show off. Like this was definitely worth an anniversary celebration. They're definitely celebrating Final Fantasy VII by offering more Final Fantasy VII, which is really cool.
For sure.
Let's see. Psycho, I was way overpowered at the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I was kind of worried about that when I was playing it. I was like doing every little thing and kind of grinding out stuff, and I was like, I feel like I could just become like way too powerful in this. I'm curious about how they're gonna.
I mean, it's a role-playing game.
So. Yeah, it really comes down to how much are you willing to do, because then other people will play games like that and complain about that they're underpowered in certain parts, and I'm like, you're probably just running through it.
And without much detail, Rufus deserves to be overpowered. Fuck that fight.
Yeah. I will be curious to see how they handle progression from Remake to Rebirth. I don't know how they're going to do that. It would be cool if you kept your shit.
Yeah, I think like level-wise it'd be okay if they started over, but I do think items need to carry over from your save or something.
Yeah, because they'll feel weird if you have to restart.
Yeah.
Story-wise, they'll still be cool to continue, but like, whereas like with the original Final Fantasy VII, it was like continuous experience. Making you restart like that will feel off.
It will, 100%. Also, I And I'm sure they will, but like, you know, I think there's like 2 or 3 limit breaks total per character. So hopefully those don't disappear just to add new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they just expand upon that. So
yeah. Psycho says, I maxed out all my materia. I hope they carry over.
I did not do that.
Yeah. See, like putting all that work in and starting over. People are going to do it, but it would be nice to, even if they added like, at launch, like a harder mode, maybe really grind it out. And so they can be like, well, you can play this so you don't feel overpowered the whole time.
Did the remake come with the harder mode, or was that a patch?
I think it was patched, too, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was patched because they also had a New Game Plus later, too, I think.
Oh, one other thing about this presentation that I really am stoked about is Integrate coming to PC now, today.
Steam.
Yeah. Steam. What'd I say?
PC.
Oh, okay. Steam and PC are kind of like the same thing to me. But I mean, nowadays with Epic, sometimes it's not Steam anymore. Yeah. But that's really cool. I think I'm actually going to buy that on PC and start over. I remember all the things I did when I was playing it, but I feel like it would be better story-wise to take it all in again from the beginning. So
I don't think the game's super long either.
I got pretty far into it.
I want to say it was like 40 hours.
It's
not super long.
I just did what I do and started playing something else.
Sure, yeah. I'm just saying, just like in the spectrum of like, you know, role-playing games, it's not like Dragon Quest where it's 100+ hours.
Maybe I should continue the one I already was playing, though. I'll figure it out. Yeah. It's cool, though. It's coming out on Steam. I like how we're discussing that, and they're like, it's coming out. I'm like, okay, there's the answer.
Yeah, the only thing I really need to see from Square now, because they've kind of shown everything I was waiting for, is I want to see Dragon Quest 12. They announced it, and that was it.
I am such a big fan of Dragon Quest now, based off the last game. I had like almost no experience with Dragon Quest.
Go back and play 8. That's the other one people really like a lot. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be down to do that now because I thought, was 11?
Mm-hmm.
Is like, I fucking loved that game.
Yeah, 9 was on handheld and 10 is an MMO, so.
I want to play that fucking MMO.
It's still in service, but it's only in Japanese, so.
Yeah. Now all I need is a front mission. Like a legit one, not some fucking stupid bullshit. Like whatever they showed off recently, they had some weird teaser for a front mission, and it looked dumb as shit.
Oh, that side game thing.
Yeah, I need a just straight up fucking tactical RPG front mission with amazing graphics, cool effects, a bunch of Vonzers, and a really cool fucking story. I won't be in heaven.
Yeah, I just get a little worried because, like, you know, with their other IPs, they haven't really put the same kind of love as they do, like Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And I really would like to see them try a little harder on their side stuff.
I'm glad they have fortified their main games. Because I don't feel like worried now anymore with those games.
Yeah.
But I would like to see. I don't like the weird juxtaposition of certain Square Enix games are most likely going to be good, and then their other side projects you're like, that's probably going to be shit.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice. Like they obviously have some teams that could just knock it out of the park, and you know. Certain people that people obviously like quite a bit. I wish they could strengthen some of their other teams, their B teams, to make some games that are.
I think they have 4.
Not just trying to like go, hey, you remember this game? Buy this piece of shit game because you remember the name.
Yeah, they have 4 divisions, and one of them is Dragon Quest, and one is Final Fantasy 14, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then they have the team that not Nobu. Oh God, I've forgotten his name now. The Kingdom Hearts guy. Nomura, and the main Final Fantasy team, essentially. And then the 4th one's mobile games. So, like, the teams are all good. They just don't put the effort into.
They need a 5th team, dude.
Wow. Possibly. They just need to actually put some effort into the side projects.
Revitalization team that goes through their older catalog and fucking get shit done, dude.
Yeah. I also... and only because we're talking about Square Enix, the NVIDIA leak list, there was 2 Square games that still weren't like officially announced, and Sony, while they were leaking stuff, leaked the Tactics Ogre game. So the only thing left is the 9 remake at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So probably coming out.
Yeah. No, it's been super accurate.
Yeah. So.
Psycho says, it won't deter me from buying Rebirth, but I will be a small bit sad if they don't carry over. Yeah, I hope they do it. I think it's a weird situation, the way they're compartmentalizing the story, but hopefully they have some kind of carryover. Something needs to carry over.
Something has to, yeah.
Yeah, it'll feel really, really weird if you're starting over again. So, especially like whatever sword you had last, all that kind of stuff. If you don't have that now, maybe they'll have a thing in the beginning where you fucking get all your shit taken from you and get cracked in the head, and they're like, "Oh no, you got to start from the beginning." But that would feel so shitty.
Yeah.
So hopefully they don't do that. All right, well, let's start getting ready to wrap this up. Overall, I thought this was way better than I was expecting, even with knowing what they were going to show. Seeing it, I'm like, oh, fuck, this is all dope.
Yeah.
And again, I'm still amazed that Final Fantasy VII, as a singular, what once was a singular game, can offer so many things now that all look really cool. So at least they're not wasting the property, I guess.
It's also interesting too that a lot of that stuff came out during the PS2 era.
Yeah.
And minus 7 proper, but like all the side stuff started coming out around the PS2 era, and they're utilizing all of that now all of a sudden. So it's really, really interesting. So
yeah, it was a really good fucking event though. Probably one of the best ones I've seen, which is really weird. And yeah, really excited for Final Fantasy. Anything you want to throw out there?
Nope, not really.
All right,
what I needed to say.
Well, we'll hang out for like another couple minutes. So if you got anything you want to throw in the chat, or if you're watching this after the fact, comment what you guys think of the Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary celebration. Are you excited for the future of Final Fantasy VII? Is there anything you wanted from them? Anything you're worried about possibly? Maybe you're one of those people who beat Remake and you maybe don't like where it's going. No spoilers, please. But, definitely voice your thoughts on, where it's going with Rebirth. And, what's your favorite Final? What's your favorite Final Fantasy? 14?
Yeah.
I think mine's still 7. I haven't beaten 14. I liked 15 way more than I thought I was going to, though. I remember when I first started it, I was like, whew, this shit's kind of dorky. And then by the time I beat it, I'm like, nah, that was pretty good.
I think 15 could rank a lot higher if the middle wasn't so empty.
Yeah, and I think if the game was made a little better. But it went through development hell, so I'm happy to even like it. So, and I do think the end makes up for a lot.
Has a really good ending. So.
Yeah, if by the time I beat it, at first I'm like, oh, this is like a cool experiment they're doing with Final Fantasy. But by the time I beat it, I'm like, that was a Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
It's just told really bad pacing wise.
Well, they experimented with open world, and then by the end, they made it more, I guess, linear to tell the story, more precise. And I appreciated that. That's what I'm really liking about Final Fantasy VII Remake, is it has some open areas, but still feels linear, so they can tell the story in a better way. Because open world storytelling, typically is not that great. So
way more my pace.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, 15 I really liked. I was really surprised, and I think I can't remember his name for some reason. The villain.
Oh,
yeah, I can't. It starts with help us out, Psycho.
It's this person in 14 I think you'd love because of your love of that guy.
Yeah, I thought he's like
yes, Arden.
Yeah. I remember when I first started playing that game and that guy showed up. I'm like, who's this fucking dork? And like he's acting goofy and shit. I'm like, this guy's like creepy. Like, what the fuck? And then by the end, I was like, holy shit, dude! Like that was like a fucking dope ass villain. Like once I got him as a character and all the stuff that happened to him, I was like, that felt fucking earned, man. Like I really liked that or him as a character.
Yeah.
I need to play through 15 again. That was a good.
Before
good
you
time.
do that, just play through 14's story. I don't care if you do any side content, just do the story.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to experience that. And Psycho also loved Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it's a pretty hit or miss one with people. I see a lot of people just shit all over it, which sucks because it's like there's some really good stuff there.
Well, it's funny because like I used to hate 10 when I was younger. And then
you can't say that.
And then I played through it, and I appreciate it now.
I think the story's great.
I forgot I beat that. That's so weird.
It's just the way it's told is not like the best, but the actual story as a whole package is really good.
It's neat because it's. I mean, a lot of Final Fantasies have their own individual flair, which is kind of amazing that they can do that. It was cool. I definitely appreciate it. I don't hate it like I used to, but I do think certain things about it are kind of not great. But that game is something that needs to be remade, though. I think
PS2 game. So.
I think they would sell the fuck out of that because that's some people's favorite Final Fantasy is 10.
It's also a lot of people's first one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Resident Evil 2 effect. Like that was their first one, so that's their favorite one.
The same way. That was like wasn't my first Final Fantasy, but it was my first like introduction to like I guess beating one, because outside of that I had played some on the Super Nintendo, but I had never really beaten them. And 7 was the first one I beat.
Well, yeah, but there was all the Final Fantasies and then like Chrono Trigger and stuff. When I was a kid, that like you play, you like them, you appreciate the storytelling or whatever. But like PlayStation was such an interesting time. In gaming, because it was the first time, and I grew up playing, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, all that shit. PlayStation was the first time I was like, you can tell like cinematic stories in games now. It's not just like, oh, that's a cool story. Like the visual storytelling of it was next level, because like Final Fantasy VII and Metal Gear Solid both came out, and they both blew my mind on like what you can do in storytelling. And so, like, that's why 7 is such a strong nostalgic thing for me. Is it's not just Final Fantasy 7 and the story's awesome, but that era in gaming was like revolutionary. Because I remember also when I first played Metal Gear Solid, and I was just like, you can fucking tell stories like this? Like, what the hell? This is crazy. And yeah, so both those games like are really like.
Yeah, I mean, I need to play through 6 because it is. Very commonly people's favorite, and it apparently has like one of the best villains in a Final Fantasy. So
the fucking clown, whatever the hell,
Kefta.
Yeah, Kefka.
Yeah.
I've never beaten 6. I've played it a couple times. I've never beaten it. That's the one Final Fantasy I think that needs to be remade.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of people
like a bunch of them could be 100%. Like if I was a betting dude, I'd be like, they should do 10 because that's the easy sell. But 6 is like the game that, like, of course, purists are gonna love the original, just like the original 7. We still love it, but if you're gonna like do like the full up fucking remake from the ground up, like 6, I think is the one that deserves that, because that's the other 7.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've been like, oh, I love 7. Be like, no, dude, I like 6. Like 7 sucks. 6 is good. I'm like, really? Like that's the one that always like comes up in that kind of conversation, which is crazy to me because I don't have any kind of like deep love for 6, but I never beat it.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of knowledge in the early games. Period. That's kind of a big reason I want to go through and play all of them at some point. It's just hard because I also want to try to keep up with games that are coming out now, and working makes it difficult. But
oh yeah,
I do think like just like from word of mouth and stuff like that, that seems like it should be the obvious choice, and then they picked 9. Supposedly,
which I'll fucking take, dude. That'll be sick.
But that's another like hit or miss title with people, because there are people who just
that is the hit or miss fucking title for Final Fantasy. I can't think of a Final Fantasy that is as much like disputed over like if people like it or not. Because there's a bunch of people who looked at that thing and they're just like, I hate this on like site.
Well, that's not. I don't like the way 8 plays, but I didn't hate 8. I didn't enjoy. Playing it, but I also struggled with 12 early on, and playing it as an adult now. I enjoyed 12 a lot recently.
I've never beaten 12.
I need to revisit 8 as well, because that's another one. Like, and I actually I tried playing that one for a long time. I got through the first disc, in fact, but then I just kind of like was I'm just kind of done with this. So I think as an adult I'd appreciate it more. So Yeah. Anyway, we should probably end this.
It's already been almost 2 hours, so that's pretty crazy. I was like,
45 minutes worth of videos.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this will be like an hour stream, whatever. But I'm glad we had. I feel like we had a lot of good conversations in the stream, so I'm happy with it. So yeah, thank you everybody who's hung out. It seems like it's just Psycho still, but anybody who hung out with us, still with us, or were here at some point in the stream, thanks for hanging out. And thank you anybody who's watching this after the fact. Make sure to comment, let us know what we thought about anything, especially our Final Fantasy talk. I'm sure you have opinions on that. And stay tuned. I don't know what's coming up next. I don't know if there's any events. I don't think there is. But if there is something, or maybe we'll play catch up and find some stuff that we didn't watch, we can do that. I don't know. As for Tasty Cast, I don't know if it's going to come out this weekend or early next week. Probably early next week, because I need some time to just chill and play something.
And maybe play something?
Yeah. Exactly. So, but we'll have a lot to talk about. And Game of the Month and Plus Club are coming sooner than later. So
maybe if we find some time, we'll squeeze out a Tasty Flicks over on that channel. So
yeah, for sure. And I need to play that Naruto and fucking the Bermuda Triangle game.
Hey, I've played all the Plus games last night.
You played God of War?
A little bit.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna beat it, but I need to revisit it. But that Naruto game, I need to play multiplayer. So, all right, well, we will talk to you guys later. Until the next one, have a good one, guys, and